Top of the eighth and a tight game here from Wade Stadium. A 4-3 lead for La Crosse as we enter the top of the eighth. Another beautiful sunset here in North Minnesota. Beautiful night for baseball. A little bit cooler. Temperatures still sitting in that mid-60s.
There he is again.
Yeah.
Meteorologist John, he's back.
Yeah, beautiful 65 degrees. That's perfect weather to me.
It is.
Mid-60s, low 70s, a little bit of a breeze. That's my kind of weather.
Beautiful summer night.
Ty Chapman set to lead things off against Jake Shalanka, who we've mentioned it has gotten out of a couple jams. He came in the sixth with runners at second and third and one out. Escaped with no runs coming across. And then gave up a one-out triple to Ben Ziegler-Namoa, but then got a weak pop-out. Montoya flew out to end the inning. And so Shalanka's done a quality job getting out of some tough spots. Especially against this Loggers team. They're going to get some hits here and there because they have been a hot offense as of late. If you can just escape, that's key. As this is a pinch hitter here with Jackson Cobb, who takes the place of Ty Chapman from the University of Kansas. The left-hander. Chapman walked twice, but Cobb will take his place. Swings and misses on one from Shalanka. One gone here in the eighth. That's the second strikeout.
He has been excellent so far, Shalanka, and you see La Crosse is a really hard team to strike out, but Jake Shalanka has done a really good job so far of doing that. He got a crucial strikeout with second and third and one out when he first came in, and gets the strikeout here to lead off the inning.
So now it's Gable Mitchell. Mitchell, who has reached base 2 of 3 times. Single in the second, a walk in the sixth.
And interesting to note, Shalanka, 2 strikeouts now through 2 innings. Potter only had 2 strikeouts through 5 and a third. So playing to that script of La Crosse not being able to be struck out very much, but Shalanka defying that narrative a little bit.
Shalanka's good strikeout to walk ratio coming into this one. He's continued to add on that. Still has yet to walk a batter, but is behind 3-0. And he will walk him on 4 pitches.
Yeah, those weren't really close to Mitchell, and Mitchell, his last time up, took a lot of pitches from Alex Potter. He'll not chase out of the zone very often. He's going to force a guy to come in. And that's somebody who you want at the bottom of your order, just getting on base in a variety of ways. His on-base percentage has been excellent this year and is continuing that tonight.
So now the lineup card flips over. It's back to McPaul at the top of the lineup. He's reached base 3 of his 4 plate appearances. And his first hit of the game back in the 6th. Reached on a walk and a fielder's choice in his first 2 plate appearances.
He's a really, really perfect leadoff hitter with that on-base percentage and his ability to hit for contact.
That was only his second double, too, of the season from Paul. He's been a guy that's been here for quite a while with this Loggers team. He's been just solid at getting on base, coming in. He had 27 walks. He's now got 28 walks and 28 strikeouts, so that number even so far on the season.
And that's, again, who you want as a leadoff hitter. Somebody who doesn't strike out very much and walks a lot.
There's a grounder to second to Hallquist. They get the out at second, throw over to first. It's in time. 4-6-3 double play, and that'll end it off here in the top of the 8th. Huskies look for some run production in the bottom of the 8th. Down 1 on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. The Northwoods League is proud to partner with the authentic Stadium Mustard this season. For over 50 years, Stadium Mustard has been offered at stadiums, ballparks, and arenas coast to coast. And the Duluth Huskies are proud to be serving Stadium Mustard here at Wade Stadium. Loved by millions, Stadium Mustard. Look at the ship going under the Bong Bridge right now. And again, a beautiful night for baseball. As if you look out, as here's a new pitcher. Aiden Moffitt will take over in a 4-3 lead, and he was the Husky killer in the last couple games. He, so far on the season, has been really good. 8 strikeouts to 3 walks and 4 2/3. He's thrown 2 innings against the Huskies this season. Has struck out 3 batters to give up 1 run. But he is a flamethrower, Jordy.
Yeah, he certainly is. What a pickup for La Crosse to get a guy like Aiden Moffitt. Was on the national champion LSU this past year. Only pitched 1 inning there, but he had a tremendous amount of attention coming out of high school. The #1 ranked right-handed pitcher out of Mississippi, and some ridiculous numbers in 46 career high school appearances. 305 strikeouts in 165 2/3 innings in high school. That's ridiculous.
He's a guy that the Huskies saw in that last game. As there's Compton swinging and missing. He got the save in that 7-5 win, and he struck out Brandon Compton on what was recorded at a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. So far, his first 2 at 92, but he can really top out the radar gun.
Yeah, we've seen him ramp up the velocity as he's gone on in an inning for the last 2 times against the Huskies.
So the Huskies trying to figure him out this season. That last one was at 94. And he's just a fun guy to watch. Again, it's going to be that fastball pretty much. He worked in the curve very rarely, but he did, and it really threw off Huskies hitters. And so look for him to mix in some of those pitches. Here's the 0-2. Slow roller down the first base line and foul.
It's a nasty breaking ball for a guy who throws super hard. That was tailing inside on Brandon Compton. Fortunate just to make contact because that pitch was insane.
And Moffitt only pitched once for LSU in the spring. March 3rd against Butler, gave up a run on 3 walks. It's the only time when he struggled is when he can't find the strike zone with his fastball. But he's been locating it very well so far with La Crosse. Just misses on one outside. That's a tough one to lay off on an 0-2.
94, nearly on the black. That is a incredible pitch, nearly unhittable, and Compton fortunate that it was just off the outside.
Compton trying to fight here. Huskies trying to figure flamethrower out, and Brandon Compton's going to swing and miss at a breaking ball. When you can mix in that fastball and then slow it down, that is so deadly.
And that's the similar one to the one that Compton just chopped foul barely to stay alive. It tails inside and dips down so quickly, that slider from Moffitt. If he can work that in consistently with that powerful fastball, he's just only going to get better.
It's now his 9th strikeout of the season, and with that 1 out, he's now pitched 5 innings so far in the summer, and that is just really good stuff from Moffitt, as it's now Brylan West will be the next batter to try to figure him out.
Well, the Loggers have their late inning guy going forward for as long as Moffitt stays. What a luxury that is to be able to turn it to a guy that has electric stuff and strike so many hitters out. As you mentioned, it's a limited sample size, but to already have 9 strikeouts through 5 innings, impressive.
Going to continue to be a big part of this La Crosse team late in games, and he's been one of the reasons out of the bullpen where they've won some games, as Brylan West sends a single into left field for a base hit. Nice job by Brylan West to jump on that one.
Looked like that hurt Brylan West as that pitch was a little bit inside. He is holding his fingers. Carson Applegate has come out to replace him on the bases, but that's the kind of hit that you're going to need against Moffitt. It's not going to be hard hit contact. It's a ball that finds its way through between short and third, and it is indeed Applegate pinch running for West, who did not want to come out of the game.
Applegate has been a pinch runner this season. He's been used multiple times in that role. He's been in and out of the lineup. He scored 16 runs. He's 7 for 8 on stolen bases this season, so they will be wary of him on the base paths, especially knowing what he represents for Duluth.
And this should be an interesting game of cat and mouse between Moffitt and Applegate. We're going to get a good look at how good Moffitt's pickoff move is.
Halverson is going to send a grounder to short. Mitchell, it goes off his glove. Applegate's in at second. Halverson reaches at first. And 2 runners on now for Duluth.
Yeah, I think Mitchell just got ahead of himself. He was thinking about that throw to second base before he even put it into his glove, and you can understand it because he wants to turn that double play if possible. And not bringing it into his glove turns into a big break for Duluth with the tying run now at second base.
So Applegate at second. Halverson at first. Mike Hallquist up to the plate now for Duluth. A huge spot here for the Huskies. Hallquist takes a big swing and a miss on that powerful fastball at 94.
That pitch in on the hands of Hallquist. It's really nasty when it tails inside like that.
The 1 misses away. Nice stop by Neary behind the plate. Applegate's given Moffitt a lot to worry about. He is dancing off of second base right now.
Yeah, and that's a smart play from Applegate to try and distract a pitcher in Moffitt who's got electric stuff but has struggles with command at times. So if you can get him into that scenario, that could really help your team.
Time is going to be called. Man, Applegate is really getting into the head of Moffitt here. That was close to a pitch clock violation.
That is what they called. Yeah, it does change the count to 2-1.
Hallquist, another big swing and a miss. That one a low fastball, and it's now 2-2.
Hallquist, a great take earlier in the at-bat on a breaking ball that tailed away. Pitch in on the hands earlier. This one right in the zone, but such a powerful fastball. It's hard to catch up to. Good take there.
Yeah, he is battling here with Moffitt. He's continuing to throw that fastball. He's worked that slider in a couple of times. Trying to mix it up. Now he's got the count full. 1 base open. Danger of loading up the bases. Payoff pitch. Runners going. That one is fouled off the foot of Hallquist.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt. Hallquist looks to be okay, but anytime you swing that hard and foul it off your foot or ankle area, it's painful. Hallquist taking a second to gather himself.
He is a tough guy. He is. And one of the biggest parts of this Huskies' success all season offensively, trying to come through in a huge spot here for Duluth with the tying run at second base. Payoff pitch, misses low and in. That's going to load up the bases.
What an at-bat from Mike Hallquist. Some really tough takes. There was that breaking ball tailing away that he took. For ball 3, the fastball that missed just a bit low, and there, another close pitch that he's able to lay off of against a guy like Moffitt. To be able to have the courage and confidence to take pitches that close just speaks to the kind of hitter that Mike Hallquist is.
So the Huskies have the bases loaded with 1 out. A rare mound visit for Aiden Moffitt. You see some pitchers up. There's Tony Pluta, who's been a consistent closer for La Crosse all season. He is up and warming. It's a big spot. Tying run at third, go ahead at second, and Cason Wells comes to the plate.
And this is exactly who you want up at the plate in this type of situation. With Moffitt struggling a little bit with his command, Cason Wells is going to force this powerful reliever to come into the zone. And with the bases loaded, tying run at third, go-ahead run at second, this is a dream scenario for the Huskies.
Big swing and a miss from Wells to start out this one. He was a little bit behind that one. That fastball, still 93 on that last one. Some powerful stuff from the LSU product. 0-1 to Wells, takes away.
Yeah, and for Moffitt, I think the key is going to be able to get those pitches in the zone consistently. Huskies haven't really made much contact when he's been able to pound that fastball in there. So if he can do it every single pitch, you like your chances, at least for minimal contacts that'll turn into outs.
Wells has already walked tonight. He walked back in the 6th, singled in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. He's got on base 2 of 3 times, as he has all season, consistently getting on multiple times in the game. 2-1, takes low and away. It's now 3-1.
Yeah, and Moffitt, you can see here the last couple pitches not really close. When you force a guy like this who hasn't pitched very much, despite his great stuff, to get into a bases loaded situation, you often see nerves like this and the command going out the door.
3-1, misses away. Bases loaded walk. Applegate comes home to score, and we're tied at 4.
And as I said, John, Cason Wells is the exact guy you want up at the plate because he is not going to chase out of the zone. You force Moffitt to come in, he does not, and Wells gets on, keeps the line moving. Huskies now have the go-ahead run at third base, and this has been quite the display of plate discipline from this squad.
What a spot now for Adrian Davis. His first game as a Husky. He comes in to face the flamethrower in Moffitt with the go-ahead run standing at third.
And you have to imagine he's got the take sign right now because Moffitt is nowhere close with these pitches. At least show you that he can throw a strike before you swing away.
There's a swing and a miss. Another fastball. It's 1-1.
That was tailing away from Davis. A nice response from Moffitt. Still has a chance to really limit the damage in this inning. Strikeout or a ground ball.
Davis has reached base once so far in his Duluth Huskies debut. It was on a hit-by pitch in the 6th, and he was caught stealing back when the Huskies had another big opportunity. He struck out back in the 2nd, had a ground out in the 4th. Here's the 1-2. 1-2, swung on and missed. That fastball gets Davis, and now 2 gone here in the 8th.
And that's just pure gas from Moffitt. Clocked at 99 miles an hour. He just throws that and says, here, hit this. And almost no one at this level is going to be able to hit something like that. My goodness.
He had been sitting 93, it topped out at 94, and then suddenly there comes the 99-mile-per-hour fastball. 2 outs in a tie game. It'll be up to Tyler Leroy to try to give the Huskies the lead here in the 8th.
And you see something like that, and you almost think Moffitt's holding off a little bit on some of the velocity. Doesn't want to tire himself out, but man, when you can just pound 99 in there with 2 strikes.
That one rides way up and in. Leroy just able to get out of the way.
That's dangerous for Tyler Leroy. Unfortunate he was able to get out of the way. That looked like a breaking pitch that got away from Moffitt, but even his breaking pitches are going to hurt. Fortunate for Leroy, as that was up near his head.
1-1, Leroy will foul one off on the first base side, and ahead once again is Moffitt, 1-2, trying to, like you mentioned, limit the damage here in the 8th.
It's got to be fun for these Huskies pitchers to face a guy like this with so much amazing stuff. It's a real challenge, and you test yourself as a hitter.
The 1-2 to Leroy. Takes inside, and it looks like a little bit of home plate umpire Manny Fleitas, who is in some pain.
Yeah, that pitch tailed inside on Neary, and he wasn't quite ready for it, and that's why it hit Manny Fleitas, and a fastball at 95 miles an hour. That is really scary to see Fleitas get hit right in the chest there. Very, very concerning.
So they all taking a second, making sure he's okay, and obviously Moffitt, that's got to shake him up a little bit, because obviously he knows the kind of velocity he has when coming up, and again, just getting a little bit away from Neary, and obviously hope that Manny is okay.
Moffitt's got so much movement on that pitch, and so can tail inside quite a bit. And you see there, fortunately, Fleitas is up and holding his chest, but it's great to see him stand up. That's really reassuring.
Both Nick Barone and TJ Tamaccio coming in as well, making sure he's okay, talking with the trainer for the Huskies. As you see in the Duluth bullpen, there's David Stitch, who's up right now. And a lot of what happens here could decide who the Huskies will put out for the top of the ninth. So Fleitas is okay. We'll re-enter.
You see, as I mentioned, it tails inside, and Neary wasn't ready for it. Fleitas gets that powerful fastball right in the chest.
2-2, Leroy sends into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run scores, a second one on its way. The Huskies have taken the lead in the bottom of the 8th. The 3rd run now coming around with Wells. Tyler Leroy clears the bases for Duluth. Huskies lead 7-4.
And finally for Duluth, the luck turns. That's a bloop single. Drops in between the second fielder and the right fielder, and then everything goes crazy. The ball gets away from Montoya, and then the ball gets away in the infield as well, allowing another run to score. We've seen La Crosse benefit from swings that don't produce that much contact, and here the Huskies get their experience of that. And for Tyler Leroy, who has struggled to get on base, my goodness, that was something he really needed.
So now the Huskies look for a little bit more before heading to the top of the 9th. It's Jared Medham back to the top of the order, who's the 8th batter to come across here in the bottom of the 8th. They have figured out Moffitt, at least enough to give them the lead. Took advantage of some walks and had a couple timely hits. Medham sends a grounder to second. There's Sweat. Throw over to first is in time. But the Huskies score 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th. They take a 7-4 lead. They'll look to close it out in the top of the 9th right after this on the Northwoods League Baseball Network.